These poems are dedicated to all those whose lives have been spent in bringing peace to this planet. Wherever you are, I bow my head. May peace be on this earth. We are all united with the thread of love. May each one of us realize the garland of life.
Welcome to the Grand Delusion. Welcome to the Grand Delusion. It's so grand that you think you live in reality. The world seems so real, yet the balloon can and will pop at any time. We get so started when our balloon pops. We moan and grow, and tragedy strikes us. As Bugs Bunny once said, you can never get out of this alive. Wise men have been talking about this for thousands of years. And unfortunately, it has fallen upon deaf ears. The answer to this puzzle lies behind your precious breath. Unfortunately, most people will roll their eyes and say, how stupid that is. I've been breathing all my life. Yet the question is, are you conscious of it? Only you can answer that question. The song of life carries on. We are all notes in the grand song of life. We come in silently and play our precious notes. Some notes are heard. Some notes are silent. All notes are precious in the eyes of the beholder. Nobody can truly explain the song of life. Wise men have been trying to describe this for thousands of years. Your notes that are played will always remain to be part of the song of life. Nobody can take these notes away from you. A person who has gratitude lives to express his notes in harmony with the divine song of life. Wealth or fame doesn't even enter his consciousness. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with these. Yet so many people have gone down the drain of sorrow gaining these. The song of life is an internal song. Your external look of the world will never reveal to you the song that lies within. This song is part of your true nature. This song is eternal. This song lies behind your breath. Only you can solve this puzzle. The flap of a butterfly wings. The flap of a butterfly's wings can do many wondrous things. 50 years ago, the girls and I were traveling in Zambia. We were hitchhiking and got out of the car. We got rides in 2 separate cars and landed in the capital of Lusaka. Polly and I got out of the car, and within minutes, Cookie and Tess also got out of their car. What was the chance of that? We each hitchhiked 3 days to reach Zambia, and we had no idea where the other 2 was. Within minutes, we meet Gary. We tell Gary all about our adventures. Gary's uncle is the national producer of Zambia TV. That night, we found ourselves on national TV. We talked about the inner Joe within. After the program ended, they received hundreds of phone calls asking, "What was that?" The next night, we were invited back on TV. This started a series of events where we went on a tour of many places. Fast forward 50 years. Last week, Prem did a talk in a prison in Zambia. There's a system-wide peace program in many prisons all around the world. Just think, one small flap of a butterfly's wings can cause a change in future events. Peace is possible. Peace is a choice you make. Peace lies inside of you. You are more powerful than you think. There is a web that lies in all of us. There is a web that ties us all together. It is already inside of you. It is already inside of you. This reminds me of a poem I heard in India many years ago. It goes like this. How can a fish drown in water? I find that fascinating. It seems for fish, water is everywhere. Yeah, a fish can drown in water. Isn't that ironic? Yet, but we like the fish. The happiness that we look for externally can never be found. Only those who look within will discover what already lies inside of us. Yet, the world for thousands of years still lives in chaos. You would think we would have caught up by now and realized our mistakes. Yet, we keep on running on the treadmill like there's no tomorrow. Who do you think you are to tell me what to do? I don't need your crap. Sometimes the most obvious can never be seen. Signposts are all around, yet we don't see them. It's not being radical when I say this. This should be the most sensible piece of advice that one can give to another. Look, nobody is trying to convert you. The universe doesn't need anyone to convert. You are integral part of the universe, whether you like it or not. You are eternal. You were never created, nor will you ever die. Your body will. You are the universe. You just don't know it. The hand of God. The hand of God. With one motion of his hand, the universe is created. One motion of his hand, the universe is destroyed. Yet, can we see the hand of God inside of us? If we were made in the image of God, why don't we know him? Why are we so mad at one another? Do I disband, start wars? If God is light, then why are we living in darkness? Just think one match can light up a dark room. Darkness is simply the opposite of light. We are hardwired to discover the jewel within. Why are our inner circuits blown? We are so stressed out that billions of people can't sleep properly at night. Is this a game of poker? Is there a way out of this mess? In order to answer this, we must first know the right questions to ask. If we sit on a fence, we can't go in any direction. We just sit on the fence. The fence is the demarcation point between darkness and light. What do you choose? If you want to choose light, you must get off the fence and walk towards the light. It's as easy as that. You must make conscious decisions in order to embrace the light inside of you. Remember, only you can rewire your circuits. You can do this. This is why you came here in the first place, to discover your true nature. What a perfect day. What a perfect day. What do you mean, this is a perfect day? I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I shouldn't have even gotten out of bed. Yet the birds are still chirping in the early morning while you are asleep. Even when the storm blows overhead, the birds will still chirp with delight. For them, it's another perfect day. By the way, so many times we are preoccupied with the things we must do. Oh my God, I'm late for work. What time is it? I'm late to pick up the kids from school. I have to work overtime to get this job done. Another weekend is ruined. The wise man accepts the so-called good, bad, and ugly, and just smiles and laughs. Mind you, this is probably the most difficult thing to do in the universe. Try it sometimes. Try to smile whatever comes your way. It's probably the most difficult thing to do in the universe. It may seem easy, but it's quite the challenge. One who is connected to the perfection that lies within. One will understand the meaning of his message. Baby steps are needed along the way. 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards are the names of the game. Valuable lessons are learned when we fall down and pick ourselves up. This is how we learn and grow in life. What a perfect day it is. We are alive. Slowly drift away. We come into this world as an enlightened beings, yet we slowly drift away from our true nature. A baby is so innocent. When a baby smiles, the whole world smiles. It seems the older we get, the more volatile we become. A baby doesn't have to pretend to be happy or sad. It just is. Why do we drift away from our true nature? We have been doing this for thousands of years. It would seem so obvious that happiness only lies inside of us. Yet, we are like the person that chases the carrot on a stick. Someday, I will be happy. We think external things can bring happiness to us. Everything gets snatched away from us when we die. I mean everything. The only thing we keep is our true nature. Everything else vanishes into thin air. That is the ultimate magic trick. A wise person understands that trick and doesn't fall for it. He understands that the journey of life is to become life itself. So many of us get caught up in the treadmill of life, and everything that's all there is. We have a choice to either drift off into the night or drift into the light that exists inside. These are the 2 choices we have to make. We can no longer sit on the fence. Stopping me in my tracks. Sometimes the universe stops me in my tracks. Usually it's saying, you're heading down the wrong track. There's a freight train about ready to go barreling down the end of the tunnel. We can't see the end of the tunnel, yet the universe can. Many times we think, if I only did this action, my life would have changed for the better. Yet we never know the consequences of what that action may manifest further down the road. I say the spiritual path is the most practical. One must be diligent at all times. One must be aware of his actions. It's not easy when we put our vehicle on remote control. For many, life is a blessing. For many, life is a curse. Mind you, the same circumstances may come up which are identical to both. One sees the glass as half empty. One sees the glass as half full. Our life's direction is driven by our state of mind. We never learned this in school. This should be taught from the get-go. Intuition is the means that we may listen to the universe, saying, don't go down that path. It may be enticing, yet in the end, it will lead to pain. Ponder this over. How many times have you been stopped in your tracks, and yet it's a blessing in disguise? Always on inside of you. What is always on inside of you? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, for one thing, the wise men of old have said there's a place inside where the light is always turned on. Even in your darkest moments, this light exists. Then why don't I see it inside myself? That is a good question. That is the starting point to answer your question. Without asking that question, how can you get an answer? This light has always been there, but have you been there? You are breathing 24 hours a day, yet are you aware of the power behind your breath? I say quite frankly, the more you pay attention to something, the more attention it pays to you. Signposts are all around you, yet do we have the eyes to see? This may seem like a riddle, which it is. My theory, and the theory of many before me, have said this is the goal of human life. The light is always on inside of you. The light brings wisdom and clarity. Darkness is the absence of light. No wonder the mind is in turmoil. We don't know our true nature, yet we truly think we have all the answers. Don't tell me what to do. There's no light inside of me. I've been alive for more than 60 years, and I've never seen this light that you are talking about. When a newborn baby smiles, that smile is a reflection of the light within. It's like the sun radiating its rays. A newborn baby doesn't have to say anything. It just smiles. Maybe, just maybe, we should learn to rediscover our true nature. Heaven's door. Many people have a concept of heaven's door. Many people think there are pearly gates to enter heaven. What if heaven is a state of mind? That may seem far-fetched, yet we only see 1% of the light spectrum. Maybe, just maybe, heaven is all around us, yet we don't have the eyes to see. Many people probably roll their eyes when I say stuff like this. Yet, if it is all possible, ponder this over. All the great masters have said that the kingdom of heaven lies inside of you. If that is true, why don't I see it or know it? Imagine you have a radio station called KGOD. If you don't have the radio turned on, and if you don't turn the dial to the station KGOD, then you won't be able to listen to the divine show. The first step is to turn the radio on. Most of the time, we are texting on the freeway of life. We are oblivious to the internal. The second step is to dial into the station of KGOD. Each one of you is custom built and has custom hardware and software to do this. Therefore, one size doesn't fit all. The most important thing is your conviction to discover your true nature. Without that, you will go nowhere. One must be like a child who is open and loving to discover the wonders of the world. Boredom is a state of mind. Apathy is a state of mind. Thinking you know it all is a state of mind. Heaven's gate lies inside of you. Only you can solve this puzzle.